Hi, welcome back to Bog's Delights. In this episode we're playing Shadowrun CROSSFIRE from Catalyst Game Labs. To teach us how to play, I'm going to start with the starting mission, Crossfire, and I'm going to use two runners. I'm going to play them both solitaire. This is a game for 2 to 4, and each one of you takes one of these player cards, and this is your runner, but you also get assigned a role, and we'll talk about that in a moment. This is our mission. We've got a mission goal. Our team is going to face off against obstacles in 3 scenes. Each scene ends when you've defeated all obstacles facing runners. Once the 3rd scene ends, the team wins the mission. And then this section here tells you what happens at the start of each scene, how to end a scene, and then what to do if you're playing with fewer than 4 runners. It says if there's only 2 runners, do not flip a Crossfire card at the start of the first or second rounds. I'll explain that when we get there. First, let's talk about roles. The premise is we've got to fulfill that goal. We've got to defeat obstacles. You defeat obstacles, and I'll show you how that works. And then we accumulate karma. And when we accumulate karma, we can gain skills that we fill with these slots. These are our starting stats, and this is our health. Okay? If we get reduced to staggered health, which is 0, then we can't take any more damage that turn, but it does mean that our options are a little bit limited. If we take more damage and hit critical, one runner goes critical, then the runners flee, and that's mission failed. As for the roles, there's 4 roles. There's the mage, street samurai, face, and decker. So I'm going to have one of my runners be the decker and the mage, and the other street samurai and face. If you're playing 4 players, you each take a different role, each assigned to your runner. If you're playing 3 players, then one of you will have to take two roles, and then the other 2 players, one each. Playing 2 players, we take 2 each. Okay? But one of these is your primary role. Each role comes with a deck of cards. This is your 7-card starting deck. Alright? And these icons here tell you which cards to take. Street Samurai has 4 weapons here. A skill, a spell, and a hacking icon. These are the ones that match these icons at top left here. Okay. One of these is going to be your basic deck. So we'll take the face role, which has got 4 skills. This one then just becomes a supplementary role, and over here we'll take the decker role. So these basic decks go back to the box. Next we need some starting health. There's a circle hill to indicate your starting health. There's a maximum health token. Your health can never rise above this. So we'll place our starting health, and then we'll draw your starting hand. Both humans here have a starting hand of 4 cards. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. The other thing we need is some starting new yen. This is our currency to buy new cards. So again, your character card will show you how many you start with. So it's 3 each. Playing 2 player and running 2 roles, you get an additional 1 to compensate for having fewer runners. Next we've got some decks of cards to shuffle up. This is the black market. We'll look at that in a second. These are called Crossfire Events that our mission was referring to. These are things that are going to happen each round, and they kind of have a global effect on the game. These are obstacles. There's 2 sorts. There's the normal. These have a single bullet hole on, and then the hard. These have got 2 bullet holes. I'll show you different missions. Will ask you to use them in different ways. Okay. Let's set up the black market. First we draw 6 cards from the black market. These are the cards that we can buy at the end of each round, and thereby improve our deck. I'm just going to put this die here to remind me that for the first and second rounds, that's going to stay locked out. Let's start by giving our characters some names. I've got a felt pen here, so I don't know, we'll call him Dan, and we'll give her the name Beth. Alright. Normally you'd start now by drawing a Crossfire event, but we've got our blocker on here. Remember, this is giving us a little bit of an easier start to the game. If you want a little turn sequence, it's right on the back here. Okay? So we'll keep that handy. But our mission here will tell us that what we do at the start of the scene, remember we're on scene 1 here, round 1, it says we need to flip obstacles equal to the number of runners in scene 1. Okay. Now the difficulty of those is going to be determined by the Crossfire level. The Crossfire level is a number of cards in the Crossfire discard pile. We've got none at the beginning. So our level is 0. That means we start with just the normals. If our level was 1, we'd have 1 hard. If it was 2, we'd have 2 hard, 3 hards, and so on, and we'd fill out the remainder with normal. So let's just grab 2 of these, 1 for each player. And the way to assign these obstacles to each player is you take the first card you drew, the first obstacle, and we look at its colour. It's red. Whoever has the red roll face, which is Beth, she takes this one, and then we deal the others clockwise. So playing 2 players is going to head in here. Each one of these obstacles is going to need a damage counter to record our progress against this obstacle. But some of these cards will have effects when they get flipped, when they get drawn from the obstacle deck. Now Beth, she's got Orc Fixer. This one says she can't buy any cards. Alright, so that's a nasty thing to start her off with. She's got to try and defeat this obstacle without buying any cards. Dan, he has Chipped Decker, and this one says flipped. You can cycle 1 non-hacking card in the black market. We'll have a look at the black market. That's our array of 6 cards here that we can purchase from. Remember, our objective is to defeat these obstacles, and the way we defeat these obstacles is we need to generate this sequence of damage. This is colourless damage. That means any type of damage, colourless or coloured. Coloured is where you see these 4 icons that we've been introduced to. So here we need to provide any 2 damage, then we need a hacker damage, and then 3 more of anything, okay, in that sequence. So maybe there's no need to recycle anything here. Well, let's just show you what recycling means, just for the sake of it. Let's get rid of so non-hacking, so not a green one, okay. Let's get rid of one of these blue spell ones, and maybe try and get a weapon one of the black ones. Let's get rid of Stun Bolt. We're going to put this in the discard pile, and then we'll replace it with, okay, we got Icon Grab. And now we're all set up. Let's start with our turn sequence, which is start by playing cards. So Dan's got a hand. He's got 2 hacking, 1 skill, and 1 spell. Okay, 2 greens, 1 red, 1 blue. Now the aim of playing cards is to defeat these obstacles, like I said. Now, you don't have to only play cards against the obstacle that you're facing, okay? The obstacle that you're facing is the one that's going to attack you. We'll come to that in a minute. But you could try and defeat either of these obstacles. Remember, you're playing a cooperative game, so you're trying to help your opponents. I mean, I'm playing solitaire anyway, so I'm running 2 runners. This one's going to be quite straightforward, I think. So I think this one probably is our priority. So let's play, so 2 of anything, then a green, for hacking, and then 3 of anything. Well, we don't really need the blue, so we can use that as colourless. And all you do is put the card you want to play next to the obstacle you want to try and take out. So we'll play 2 of anything, and then a green, and we'll keep this card in our hand. And what that's allowed us to do, and this is where we take our damage token, and we have to progress left to right. So we've got 2 of anything, so we defeat the first level, and then 1 green, so we defeat the second level. So we've not defeated the obstacle, but we've gone quite a fair way to doing so. Once we're done applying damage, all the cards that we've played go to our discard pile. So let's just create a discard pile here. And now it's the turn of the obstacle to damage us. In the bottom right here is the amount of damage it does. It's going to do 1 damage to our health. So Dan's health tracker is going to go down from 5 to 4. Now we get ready to draw some new cards. If you have 3 or less cards in your hand, Dan does, he has only 1, he draws 2 new cards. Okay, so we've got a mark and a mark. Okay, we've got the 3 we need for the obstacle next time. And now we have an opportunity to buy cards from the black market. We've got 4 new yen to spend. We don't have to spend it, we don't have to spend any if we don't want to, and I can buy any number of cards that I wish. So with 4 I could buy Clairvoyance. This is the cost to buy the card in the top right. This one costs 2, this one costs 2, so I could get Icon Grab and Clairvoyance. I really like the look of Death Touch. Death Touch costs 4 new yen, but it's going to give me 2 spell and X number of colourless. Alright, and that is determined by this effect at the bottom, but we'll look at that when this card comes into play. Let's take Death Touch. And one of the things I like here is this goes to your hand. It doesn't go to your discard pile, right? You're going to be able to use it on the next turn. And then we refill the black market and we got another Death Touch. That's Dan's turn done. Let's move to Beth. So she's got to face off this Orc Fixer. And she's got to do so by generating 1 red damage, 1 skill damage, and then 3 of anything. So we're gonna finish this one nice and easily. Okay, so we do our red, and then we do our 3, and that has defeated the obstacle. This thing is going to disappear, and we're going to get a reward for that. We're going to get 4 new yen. Now the thing about that is, I'm putting this face up just on the bottom here to save space. The thing about the reward, it's actually shared, because, you know, potentially we're helping each other out in defeating this stuff. And the way you do that is just take turns distributing it amongst all the players, and you start with yourself. Alright, so that's going to be 2 each. 2 new yen each as a reward. Pretty cool. Discards. Alright, there's no obstacle to do her damage, and then Beth draws her 2 new cards. I should have taken Dan's new yen away, spent those buying that card. Oops, forgot to do that. So they go back to the bank. And now Beth can buy some cards. Now remember, Beth's obstacle said she couldn't buy cards this turn. But the obstacle's gone. As soon as the obstacle's gone, its static effect is no longer in effect. Alright? Only when that obstacle's facing the runner does it affect them. So, yeah, she's definitely going to buy some stuff. So we're going to buy Clairvoyance for 2. Oh, a whip. Don't forget to pay this time. What does this one do? Monofilament whip. You can move 1 obstacle facing another runner to face you. I like the look of that actually. I might buy that one. So let's take 2. We'll take this one. We've got 2 new yen left. I think we're going to save it and leave it there. That's round over. So now we're going to start a new round. And Dan's going to begin again. So let's mark the fact we're on round 2. We're still not going to draw a Crossfire Events. It's Dan to go, and yeah, we're going to have an easy time with this one. We just need any 3. I'm going to keep Death Touch. Yeah, let's just chuck these 3 down, I think. That completes this obstacle. Remember, you share them out. I get when you get when I get when you're starting with the current runner, so it's going to be 3 for Dan and 2 for Beth. And we don't have any more obstacles facing us, but we can finish out our turn. Okay, so we finish out our turn before we do the end of scene stuff. So yeah, I get to draw 2 more cards. 1, that's quick shot. Now these should be back in my discard pile. Now I shuffle. Okay, and draw 1 more. Now we can buy for the black market, and I think I'm going to take another Death Touch since it's there. Yep. And that's going to cost me 4. Wow, we got Hero Move. This one is a 9 cost card. Now we're at the end of the scene. Okay, at the end of the turn, if there's no obstacles in play, each runner heals 1 hit point, health point, and the starting runner removes the Crossfire event from play. There aren't any in play. And then it says we've got another opportunity to buy cards from the black market, which is cool. And then we move off to the next scene. So Dan gets to heal 1 health. Beth, she's already at maximum health. Beth finished the last obstacle, so Dan gets first choice to buy anything from the black market, but he doesn't want anything. He's only got 1 new yen anyway. Beth, does she want anything else? We could save up for Hero Move, but given that it's early doors, I'm going to take Negotiation and try and power up her deck a little bit more. Oh look, Remington Room Sweeper, nice. Weapons is something we don't have a lot of, so there we go. Anyway, that costs 3. And now we start the next scene with Dan as the first player again, because he was the first player to get a choice from the black market. Right, so that's how you figure out the next player for first player for the next round. We've hit our third round now, so we're going to remove this die. These are no longer closed off. First, let's set up the next scene. It says scene 2. We need to flip obstacles equal to the number of runners plus 1. Now, which one of these runners is going to get 2 depends on what colour comes up. Because we defeated those 2 obstacles in 2 rounds, there aren't any Crossfire events still in play, so our Crossfire level is still 0, so we can only take normals. So we've set ourselves up pretty neatly. First one is blue, and that's Dan, so he's going to take this one, so he's going to get 2. Then we've got security goons, and Dan's going to get the yak muscle. There's a couple of flipped events here. So this one says the boneless adept says flipped cycle all spell cards and weapon cards in the black market. So these are all going to go, unfortunately. We've lost our chance. And we'll draw 4 new ones. Then Beth's security goon said cycle 1 non-weapon card in the black market. So this is not an optional thing, you have to. Let's cycle out icon grab, I think. We got a Remington Room Sweeper back, that's good. Now, the first thing we do for the start of the round is draw our Crossfire Event. It says we are hacked. This infinity symbol here means it's continuous effect. The attack strength of each green obstacle is increased by 1. We don't have any green obstacles, so that's cool. And this one here, this is like the secondary effect. It says 4+, so it only comes into effect if and when the Crossfire level, which is currently 0, is 4 or more. So we're fortunate this one is not going to do anything. And let's have Dan kick things off. He's trying to generate 4 of anything. Let's decide what we want to do here. This is going to be tough because if Dan doesn't knock out at least one of these obstacles, he's going to be taking 4 damage. So the first thing I'm going to do is play Death Touch, and it has an effect here. It says reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back on the top in any order. X equals the number of spell cards revealed this way. So I'll place that against this. Reveal the top 3 cards, put them back in any order. Oh, no spells, no spells. Let's put them back in this order. So that's only 2. We've only got 2 here. This one's only going to give us 2 as well. So that's only enough to take down this 4. Then we need a 1. A 1's blue. A 1 anything, and then a 1 black. What I'm missing is the 1 anything. Okay, is there anything Beth can do to help us? The answer's yes. She has clairvoyance that she picked up last time, and this has something called an assist. Assists are abilities that only come into effect on other players' turns. It says the current runner, Dan, draws 1 card, then discards 1 card, and does 1 blue damage. Now let's play this. This does go to her discard, even though it's going to be runner Dan who gets to use it. So we draw 1 card and then discard 1 card. And let's discard this mark. And what I'd like to do now is play Death Touch again, because we might. I don't think we've got another spell. No. Okay, fine. So it's still only 2 blue. So we've got 5 blue at the moment, which is enough to take out the first 2. Then another blue, which will take us to the colours, and then a black weapon. That's going to knock out this obstacle. Remember, clairvoyance gave us the extra 1 damage we needed. Brilliant. So we take out this obstacle. We're going to get 3 new yen each. 3 for Dan, 3 for Beth. Dan's still got one obstacle facing him, so he's going to take 2 damage from this one, so his health goes down to 3. Quite pleased with the way things are going though. His hand's empty, so he's going to draw 2 cards. So we've got 2 marks, and then we can try and boost our hand with... I'm going to buy that Remington, I think. Yeah, let's do that. It costs 3. I'll take this one. That's Dan's. And then we head into Beth's turn. And she's got quite a bit of work to do here. But I'm going to have her help Dan out, I think. Yeah. I'm going to put 3 red here. Negotiation says the next time you buy a skill card this turn, pay 1 less new yen for each skill card you played this turn. And the whip. So that's going to move the damage marker. So we've done 3 damage and then 1 weapon. We're here. So Dan should be able to finish this one off on his turn and not take any more damage. We've not done anything here. So that's 2 damage to Beth. Beth's hand's empty, so I'm going to draw 2 cards. Street Smarts and reshuffle. Oh. Take these back. 1 more. Quick shot, nice. And we can buy a skill card for 3 less. And we've got this dock wagon here, which I'm interested in because it heals. It heals, and that's going to be useful to keep alive and keep in the game. So let's buy that. And it's only going to cost me 2. Right, normally it's 5. So we'll take advantage of that. We'll pay the 2. Let's refresh. And then I'm going to... Well, I'm not sure actually. Black market contacts just gives me... No, I don't think I'll take this. I don't need this. We'll leave that. We're starting the next round, so let's draw Crossfire Events. No cover. Any runner who becomes staggered goes critical instead. Right, so health we've really got to keep on top of this round. In addition, obstacles can't be prevented from attacking. Okay, that's no worries, that's a 5+ anyway. Alright, so I think, yeah, we just got to keep an eye on our health. Right, that's not too bad. Let's go to Dan and see he can finish this one off really easily. So we'll play 1 mark here, and we want to try and do something about the security goons. I think we can get the 3. This gives us 1, 2, 3. But the Remington says it does this extra damage, this staff. Deal Remington Room Sweeper's damage to each obstacle and boss facing 1 runner. Okay, so this just means that we could, apply that damage to 2 places. So that's 3. We've knocked this one out. That's a good start. And we get 5 new yen, which is 3 for Dan, 2 for Beth. And he's going to discard pile. Yeah, we've damaged the first skill on the security goons. Okay, now we don't take any damage. We've got no obstacles. Draw 2 cards. Mark and Street Smarts. Nothing to help us there. We've got 4 new yen, and I've had my eye on this one for a little while now, I think, because it gives some extra damage, and it's only cost 2. Icon grab. I'd like to have taken another dock wagon, but I've only got 4 new yen. Right, no, only 2. Okay, Beth's go. So let's start with the dock wagon. And it says choose a runner. That runner heals 2 health points. So that's choose the south. Back up to 5. That's good. Because we're not going to get much done. We've got 2. So we're going to head up here I think Dan might be able to do it next turn. So Beth takes 2 more damage. She's back down to 3. Draws 2 cards. And is there anything we want to buy? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're going to leave it. Try and get another dock wagon, because that's proving critical, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Right, let's end Beth's turn. We'll go back to Dan for the next round. Let's draw Crossfire Events. This one says, win 1, lose 1. At the start of each turn, the current runner gains 1 new yen and discards 1 card. That's nasty. You might think it's nice to get new yen. It is, of course, but discarding a card, that might put pay to, yeah, that's a real shame. Alright, Dan. Take your turn, discard a card. Let's get rid of Street Smarts. I don't think that's so bad, actually. I'll play the 1 green, the 1 smart here. We'll knock off that one. You can't partial damage, so there's no point me playing this. You know, if you can't get the whole two. Oh, hang on, yes I can. Yeah, it's got a special, hasn't it? It's got the star damage. If you played another hacking card any time during this turn, Icon Grab also deals +1 weapon spell skill. Yeah, I was hoping that I had my second card. Yeah, I was hoping these 3 together would have finished this one off, but it's not, unfortunately, because I had to discard because of that Crossfire event. Right, we do kill this one though. Okay, let's shuffle up, draw 2 cards. 1, 2, nice. Do you want to buy anything? We've got 3 now. I do like the look of Jack Tin, because Jack Tin can kind of recycle stuff from your discard pile. The wall itself. Now, I'm not sure if this is a good strategy or whether trying to save your coins is a better way to do things. But there we go. Right, Beth, let's see if you can finish things off. You need 1 weapon, so no is the answer. But you may still survive. Let's discard Mark. We can't do any damage because we don't have a weapon. So she's going to go down to 1 health. Draw 2 cards. And we've got 5 new yen to buy another dock wagon, I think. Yeah, let's do that. We've got to go another round, and we're looking for. Yeah, well, Dan should be able to do it next time because of Icon Grab. Yep, I think we're going to be good. Let's just hope this isn't too nasty. When obstacles attack, they also deal their attack strength in damage to the next runner clockwise. Okay, that's fine because yeah, we're going to finish things off this round. We're going to play Jack Tin. During your turn, when you could play cards, you can discard, or you can. Right, I'm not going to use this effect. What I'm going to do instead is use Icon Grab, which gives me 1 green. I've already got a green and a colour. That's none of which is helping. But I can now add a black weapon damage, which is going to finish off this one. Nice work. Before we end the scene, we can remove the Crossfire event from play, and it goes to the bottom of the Crossfire deck instead of the discard, which is good because that means our Crossfire level stays at 3 rather than moves to 4. I'm going to leave it there. I think I've shown you enough to get a good feel for gameplay. I'm really enjoying Shadowrun Crossfire. I like the play. I was a bit, when I first heard about it, I didn't think it was going to be too hot. There wasn't enough going on, but I think it plays really quickly. It is a quick game, and there's lots of opportunities to help. I think the co-op element is very strong in this game. It feels very strong. It really does feel like you're working together, and probably one of the better feeling of co-op that I've seen in a lot of games. So yeah, I'm impressed. I'm pleasantly surprised by the game. I look forward to getting deeper into some of the strong cards and leveling up and hitting some of the tougher missions.